Sunday mornings from 7 until 9 on 95.7 and 99.3 FM, along with WBVP, WMVA, and BeaverCountyRadio.com.
Looking for home services? Call Patriot Home Care in Beaver Falls. Their staff provides company, conversation, and companionship to all patients, ensuring medications are taken on time, participating in fun community activities, personal care, meal prep, and light household work are all services provided by Patriot Home Care, all thanks to the hardworking and selfless team members. Call Patriot Home Care at 724-506-8911 or stop in Patriot Home Care, 1225 7th Avenue, Beaver Falls.
This is Andy Toole, men's basketball coach at Robert Morris University, here to talk about my friends at Falcone Moon Township Ford. I know what it takes to win a basketball game. It begins with practice and a team of players who want to win. The same is true of the team at Moon Township Ford. Professionals who will win you over. They'll find the best rate and terms on a car loan to help you get the best deal. Make a fast break and avoid the roadblocks that stop you from finding the car you want. Go where I go. Moon Township Ford.
Falcone's Moon Township Ford, where friends send friends.
The best of Beaver County is easy to discover. It's right here on your radio. Tune in Beaver County Radio or watch the best of Beaver County live on Facebook or YouTube video this and every Thursday from 11 to 11:30. The program is made possible by St. Barnabas. For over 3 years now, the show has been dedicated to shining light on the great things going on right here in your neighborhood and the people that are making it happen. This Thursday, enjoy conversation and insight from an intriguing lineup of guests who are creating excitement and having an impact right here in Beaver County. Your friends and neighbors at St. Barnabas are pleased to support the best of Beaver County. The radio broadcast will also be replayed each week from 11:30 to noon on Sundays on Beaver County Radio. Archived Best of Beaver County videos can be viewed on the WBVP WMBA Facebook page. It's your chance to encounter the best of Beaver County with host Mike Romai this Thursday starting at 11. For more information, visit BeaverCountyRadio.com.
Pittsburgh Penguins hockey is back on Beaver County Radio.
Goal, right to the front right there. Carter, he scores! Big goal for Big Jeff!
Tune in all season long as the revamped Pittsburgh Penguins are on a quest to win their 6th Stanley Cup. Penguins hockey on Beaver County Radio is brought to you by St. Barnabas Healthcare System, Falcone's Moon Township Ford, Patriot Home Care, Forward RX, and Beaver County Radio.
You're listening to 99.3 FM, presented by St. Barnabas, in addition to 1230 WBVP Beaver Falls. Welcome to the Best of Beaver County, presented by St. Barnabas, a weekly segment dedicated to putting the focus on the amazing things and the amazing people behind them in Beaver County. The Best of Beaver County is sponsored by and content is provided by St. Barnabas. The show airs every Thursday from 11 to 11:30 on WBVP, WMBA, 99.3 FM, and Facebook Live. Now, with no further ado, let's welcome host Mike Romai to introduce today's program.
Welcome once again to the Best of Beaver County on the St. Barnabas Radio Network. I'm Mike Romai, and on this program we present you with a lot of interesting things that are going on in our area, some that are continuing to grow and prosper in our communities. One of those is the Neighborhood North Museum, which is located in Beaver Falls. And Christine KROGER, I think without giving you too much credit, I think you were the driving force behind this. How many years ago? It seems like 10 years now.
Oh, yeah, it seems like it. Well, the idea first came about all the way back in 2015, but we've been an organization since 2018 now. So wow. It's been a minute, yeah. Yeah,
and it's one of those things, and we talk about this in terms of how you bring the private and the public and all these forces together. And just to go back a little ways, this was the Neighborhood North Museum, as it stands now, is in what was once a bank.
That's right.
On 8th Avenue. And the bank closed down, as many local banks have done over the years. And I don't know, was it you or was it your planning people that said, that place that has, the walls are glass, you can see in it from all sides, that would be a great place for a museum?
Yeah, so That was actually me, but yeah, I mean, part of what we believe about how kids learn is that their environment really impacts the way that they are able to create and be and play and learn. So the aesthetic of that building was, and it's a really cool building. If you look at it, what else would it be besides a children's museum? Really?
Yeah, who thought it would be a bank?
I know, exactly. So the architecture is really unique for Beaver Falls, and so when I saw it, and we had been doing a pop-up museum for a couple of years and needed a place to kind of have our preview space live, and just worked with the organization who actually purchased it and said, I think this is the space. There's no other place. It's all windows and glass. The light is beautiful. So yeah, we worked it out and were able to rent it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now it's yours until you move into the News Tribune building.
Yeah, we have a long-term lease until we move into the News Tribune building.
Yeah.
That's correct.
And that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about Christine KROGER. Where'd you come from?
Oh, that's a good question. I lived in a lot of different places. I came from California originally, and slowly moved east. Went to high school in Moon, and then went to college in Boston, and then kind of got married, had some kids, and then came back here about 19 years ago. So
how did you end up in Beaver Falls?
Yeah, that is a great question. So we didn't end up in Beaver Falls. We ended up in Beaver originally, and wanted to really connect into other communities in the area. So we plugged into Aliquippa and Beaver Falls. We're working with John Stanley at Uncommon Grounds Cafe. We're working here, doing some arts and community development work, and then started working at the library. And just kind of, I mean, I think when people get connected in Beaver Falls, and I think in Aliquippa, these communities are just rich with history, with pride, with just all the good works that's happening here, the people who are doing things. And so just kind of fell in love with the place, I'll just be honest. Yeah. And so eventually just moved here. Yeah.
Now I'm thinking, though, there must be something in your background that said, I want to help some of these communities that are not getting the help. You moved to Beaver. Beaver never has a problem financially, it seems. You know, it's Beaver. It's the town seat, and it's the county seat. Aliquippa and Beaver Falls, you picked two of the areas in the last 40 years that have suffered economically.
That's true. So, I mean, part of my background is that I'm half Japanese. My family, my dad's family, was part of the Japanese community that was displaced and then put in the camps. So so we do have that history. Just kind of knowing what it's like to kind of experience some of that discrimination, that displacement, and then just being a little, having to work really hard to kind of get back on your feet. We also have a lot of entrepreneurs in our family. Both my aunt my aunt and both my parents have been entrepreneurs too, having started my aunt was part of the first GPS company that was started, and then my parents both started a restaurant in California. So we have that in our family. I've also been part of another company that we started early on in our marriage. But so we have those kinds of things. But I think part of when I was growing up, I had someone ask me in an interview a long time ago, when you were 17, did you think you'd start a children's museum? I mean, because when we were 17, we always know what we're going to do. I didn't, but I always kind of thought I'd do some kind of mission work. And I thought it'd be somewhere really, exciting and glamorous in like Africa or something.
Okay.
Yeah. But I ended up, I think, your life just leads you places. So Beaver Falls it is. And I think it's a place that's really rooted with a lot of cultural diversity and experiences. So I think that's just
underserved, underprivileged communities that suffer economically, and the people involved there. It's not like as an entrepreneur, you want to go out and you want to open a business that's going to attract people and millions of dollars. Right. Well, and I would say, so my in-laws were they were from France, but agricultural engineers. And they lived all over Africa and the Middle East. And I really learned a lot of great lessons from them about what it's like to live in places that are really, really third world, right? Mm-hmm. But my mother-in-law really gave me a phenomenal lesson about
the same systems are happening everywhere that are just unjust, right? So when you talk about disadvantaged communities, there's just an injustice that's going on everywhere around economics and power systems, right? And that the same is happening in France, even though you can't see it as much as that's happening in Senegal or Tunisia or these other places where you can really see these systems at work. And so maybe in a place like Beaver Falls, it seems more apparent. But when I was living in other places that were wealthier, these same injustices were happening. It's just, we cover it up a little bit more. So I like living in a place like Beaver Falls that's just really honest about itself and knows who it is and has a pride and dignity in its people. And I think the collaboration here and the ability to work together and build something really beautiful is phenomenal. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing. That's a whole nother show that we could spend hours on because, how did this disenfranchisement occur?
Exactly.
And
it's a system.
Where's the power structure?
Exactly. And so we dug into these communities because I wanted diversity for my kids rather than wanting something else. I just wanted my kids to be exposed to a lot of good people who are different. And I feel like we can add to that, and they can add to our lives as well. So.
And the Children's Museum, Neighborhood North Museum, has been growing over the years. As I mentioned to you earlier, I have grandchildren who attend there. My daughter, she's been a member for a couple of years now, so we take her son there. And when he walks in, the people behind the desk say, "Hey, Rowan," and they know his names, and they're all excited.
My staff is amazing. I agree. I think one of the things about creating a community space is that it's for everyone. I love that you guys go, that people from all over the county are coming to the museum to play, because I think play is just this powerful driver of good things, basically. And that, I think part of what makes the museum so special is that the staff who are there, our team, cares about not only one another, but our community at large, and they care about the people who are coming. But I also think that the people who come, like your family and all the families who continuously come over and over again, are creating community for each other. And I think that's a really important thing.
Yeah, because you see people of all stripes
exactly.
at the museum.
Yep, and that's a different, it's almost like church, right? It's a space where everybody can come, be themselves, and like you said, people from all different places are coming and being able to just be and learn and grow together.
And talk about that, Christine, because we're talking about how they play and learn and grow together. Yep. What is different? This is not just a playground somewhere.
It's not just a playground somewhere. Although playgrounds are really important and impactful too, we actually do have exhibits designed specifically to create learning, learning that can be iterative. Like, so you do it again and again, and you can learn in different ways, that parents are engaging with kids in ways that are promoting vocabulary, people talking to each other. We have art, like our makerspace has arts in it, which is helping social emotional learning. One of the things I said that we've really noticed after COVID, or we've heard at every boardroom table, no matter whether you're talking about education, K-12, right, higher ed or workforce development, is that people need social emotional skills. They need cooperation, the ability to collaborate, all these different things. And one of the things we're noticing is that kids are fighting, having to learn how to work it out. Parents are having to learn how to do that together as well. And so the best way that those skills are learned is in the early developmental years, and it's learned through play. And the Brookings Institute, there's like study after study that says all of those things are learned at this very early level. Our exhibits are designed to help to do that. And like when kids are coming together in these collaborative social ways, really good things are happening that are impacting learning from all domains and across the lifetime of a learner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's really important. You talk about that, and they learn to play together and social skills. Social skills. That, because if you're an only child, you don't have to share with anybody,
Exactly. Well, and like I said, seeing it more after COVID, but social skills, but also parent interaction as well, too. Yeah. So I think it's both. So parents kind of learning how to, I don't want to say learning how to, like it's top down, but like just being with their kids. And I mean, I know as a parent when I was younger, I needed to be with other parents to kind of like talk things out, learn how like is this normal, like, and also had just good modeling happening. So those are all really important things of just being social creatures and living in the world together. And honestly, that happens less because of technology, people's schedules, all those different kinds of things.
Yeah, everybody's doing this, and even at a younger age now, they're 5 and they're doing all this kind of stuff.
Exactly.
So you get them away from that. And as far as interaction is concerned, it seems like the instructors or your staff there, it's kind of like a hands-off approach where they let everybody move around and and develop those skills. And I know there's a grocery store kind of thing there. And one of the fun things is they're like scarves. You put them into these chutes and they fly up, and you follow them around and catch them. So I've done all those things.
You're like, I've done it all. Yeah, so wonder and joy are one of the ways that kids, are able to express and learn. And so, they're exploring, they're scientists. This is how humans are meant to learn as young children, right? Through all their senses. This is the language of childhood. And so they're learning different things, and then parents are explaining what's happening. And so they're building vocabulary, but they're creating memories, which is really, really important. So we do have open play, which is what you're talking about, where parents come in, they play with their kids. We also have programs. So that's more age specific. So we have after school programs, craft afternoons, where we have artists coming in and teaching different art forms that kids can learn. After school programs, Tinker Times, like once a month, where they can use our digital tools and technology.
I think there's one of those coming up this Saturday.
There's one of those this Saturday. That's right.
I saw your schedule. Yeah.
Yeah. So we have, through Eden Hall, we have a digital maker space that we have a laser cutter, 3D printer, vinyl cutter, and so just people can come and learn how to use those tools, which is amazing. And we'll be expanding that, once we go into the new building. We'll have a full floor digital and analog maker space available. And so all of our staff is getting training on all of these different tools and technologies, and then working hopefully to make this more of a public digital maker space for other people to use. And then, sensory Saturdays, where if you have sensory needs or issues, you can come in once a month for just a quiet time just for your kids. Yoga, different activities for programs for people to use and plug into.
Do you or your staff have to have an educational background for this?
Yeah, most of our staff has some kind of educational background, and then we'll be bringing, all of our teaching artists, most of them come through the trust or different things like that, or have specializations. Yeah.
Ah, fascinating. And as I say, you evolved over the years.
Yeah.
And I want to get into, because you closed down for a small period of time, short period of time, because you renovated inside there, put some other things in. We can get to that after we take this break.
Yeah.
Christine KROGER is our guest. Neighborhood North Museum of Play is what we're talking about this morning on the Best of Beaver County on the St. Barnabas Radio Network.
I'm Patty.
And I'm Bob. We're retired, and we live at St. Barnabas in the Village.
We used to have a house.
Lived in it for 40 years.
Raised our kids.
But it became too much. The upkeep, the stairs.
Moving seemed like such a hassle. We didn't even know where to start, so we didn't.
Until we met Cindy at St. Barnabas.
She talked us through our options.
Yeah, and she helped us with our move and all the arrangements.
There was so much stuff. Who knew we had 3 fondue pots?
But she made it easy.
So easy.
Now we enjoy ourselves.
Golf, the pool, new friends, shuttles to where we want to go.
The pub and the food.
So good.
There wasn't a long-term commitment or any large fees.
And they have a healthcare system on campus with doctors if we need it. The kids really like that.
The kids like to come and eat with us.
There's an easier, worry-free way to retire at the Village at St. Barnabas. Come visit us for a free and informative counseling session and personal tour.
I can't believe you waited so long.
I can't believe you waited so long.
Visit stbarnabashealthsystem.com or call 724-443-0700.
It's the Best of Beaver County on the St. Barnabas Radio Network. Our guest this morning is Christine KROGER. Christine founded, developed, again, I don't want to say, I don't want you to be embarrassed and say, yeah, but I had all these people in the background helping me out with this.
I do have an amazing board now, so,
Neighborhood North Museum of Play is in Beaver Falls, but as you said, people from all over bring their children to participate in this. And in this day and age, and it's been growing, when you have 2 parents working and maybe single households, there's not always somebody home at the end of the school day.
Right.
And this provides an opportunity for them as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, I think I think that you're correct. We have been surprised. I mean, we knew it was going to be popular, right? We knew it was necessary. Just research showed us that. But year over year, since we opened in November of 2022, we have seen increased growth from 7,500 to 9,500 to over 10,000 people this past year.
Is that right?
It
wow,
is.
That's
I know.
amazing.
It is amazing. And we have our footprint is all over Beaver County, Allegheny, Butler, Lawrence, and West Virginia, Ohio. So we're just amazed, and we're grateful for everyone who supports us. But we know that once we grow into the new Children's Museum, into an 18,000 square foot facility, that our population is even going to, what we're going to be able to offer is even more phenomenal for this, for Beaver Falls, for Beaver County, and for the region as a whole. So we're excited about that.
And you're only open specific hours, 4 days a week.
Yeah, we're open Wednesday to Saturday, 10 to 2 to the public, but on Tuesdays we're open for field trips. And on Mondays, we do some job skill training for high schools. And then we are open in the afternoons on Tuesday through Thursday for after-school programs, and then Friday and Saturday evenings for birthday parties. So we're open more, but those are just our open hour play. So we're open a lot, actually.
Yeah. Now, you know, this is play. This is a museum. This is learning. How do you compete with the trampoline parks and all these other things where kids want to run to?
Right. No, those are great questions. And I think all of those are really valuable in the landscape of our communities. So, I mean, having raised 3 boys, trampoline parks are sometimes a lifesaver, right? I'm absolutely. So, but they're also for older kids, too.
You need to work off that energy.
You need to work off that energy, or just like the yard, too, right? So they're all great. They're all great. This children's museums are really unique, and because they are play-based learning models, and they're also for children that are pre-readers or before they go to kindergarten too. So and they're for parents and kids. So I think that there's just a unique space that offers kind of a place between that works in tangent with our schools and our families and our churches to kind of create a space where parents can kind of apply what they're doing to what the kids are learning in school. So we have field trips coming to the museum, whereas you don't necessarily have a field trip going to a trampoline park. No. So trampoline parks are super fun. They have birthday parties there. Children's museums are spaces where you can bring your toddler who's learning to walk and explore, and like I said, do some of those socialization things. I don't think there's any place that has like free play like a children's museum does. It's a very unique value proposition at a children's museum with a maker space and the learning and value add there.
And it's not a place where parents can drop off the kids and go shopping or do something else for an hour or two.
Right. So we do have drop-off programs. We have summer camps where you can drop off your kids for the summer camp, where we bring in teaching artists who you're going to be learning through the arts at different things, or learning to cook or things like that. Most of the time for the younger kids, the parents are required to be a part of that, because we want you to take those things that you're learning and take them home with you. For the older kids, for our 3rd grade to 5th grade or our middle school kids, they come by themselves. However, it's one program.
Interactive stuff. Now, I was on the website, so I know the Neighborhood North Museum of Play. Your vision is that you believe playful beginnings can create hopeful futures and inspire all to become the next generation of innovative and creative thinkers.
Yeah.
All right. And at Neighborhood North, you make benefits of play available and accessible to all children, regardless of race, gender, status, learning ability, or sexual orientation.
Yes.
You know, all things that you don't always see put out there on your calling card.
Yeah. Well, we believe that play should be accessible to everybody, and that everyone is welcome in our space.
Yeah. And Christine KROGER, your background is applying a justice and equity lens to work in education, community art, public libraries, and community development initiatives. It says here as a BIPOC leader. Is that BIPOC?
Yes.
You were honored to work with your community to disrupt systems and build a creative solution that centers children and families, advocates for the arts and play, and fosters more equitable educational opportunities for all learners in the region.
oh, I forgot about this bio. I'm like, when was this written? Yes. Yeah. I'm like, what was this one for?
So it's not just a cookie cutter, paste, cut and paste and put it in here, and this is what we do just like everybody else.
Right. That's correct. I do think, so this museum, the idea for the museum came out, I was working at the Beaver Falls Library, and we were part of a Community Innovation Zone grant that the Beaver Falls School District has received. So that came through Obama's Race to the Top program. Beaver Falls was one of 50 school districts to receive it. And as part of the library, I was a partner in that grant. It was a 3-year project that looked at how can other organizations support the school in supporting kids from preschool to 3rd grade. And so a lot of good things came out of the grant. A couple of things that didn't was play-based opportunities, learning opportunities, and parent engagement. And so, just as I told you, I have 3 kids. I actually homeschooled my twins, and we, just the way that our family was at the time, we spent every summer in Europe, and we're able to just see how over there they really use the city as a playground, right? As a playground and a learning environment, and there's not a separation so much in the school and the rest of the spaces. Always use museums. We lived in DC at the time, just used museums as part of our learning environments, and just kind of knew also that children's museums were started by a group of parents who wanted more progressive education for their kids. So kind of with some of that background, I thought, what's missing is a resource here that's accessible to our learners. That if there's something that parents need, and they can't access it, like when you're busy, like you were saying, like parents are busy, they're working, whatever. But what do we do when we're busy? We do what's fun with our kids. And so when we do what's fun, and it's also creating like healthier kids, kids who are more engaged, and kids who have more socialization skills so that they can be better learners, and also kids who like are engaging with their parents so they have better vocabularies when they're going into school, right, from that 0 to 5, because we know that 90% of brain development happens before the age of 5 or before they even enter school. So all of that brings a resource to our community that's accessible to Beaver Falls and then also to Greater Beaver County. So that's just what got me thinking about the Children's Museum was really it came from some research that said, hey, this is missing in our community, and then this could be a solution.
Interesting. Our guest is Christine KROGER. She is founder of Neighborhood North Museum of Play in Beaver Falls, but people from all over the region go there, take their children there, and it's exciting because you've taken what was blighted buildings, the bank building had sat vacant for a long time, the News Tribune building, the former newspaper in town, sat empty for, it seemed like a couple decades.
30 years.
Yeah, okay.
I know.
And it was just deteriorating.
Yeah.
And then you said, well, this would be a good place. Right beside the library, right across from the library. The Falls Park is right there in the middle. And you're developing that into something even bigger. So these are buildings that many people say, just tear that down.
Yeah.
And you're making something special out of it for the future.
Yeah, thanks for talking about that. So first, it wasn't us, but it was the CDC, so the Community Development Corporation, actually took on the building and then replaced the roof and did the gutting and made it available to us for the renovation of the building. We actually have been working with the CDC for many years and identified that the Tribune building as our long-term goal to have the museum in. So which has been great to partner with the CDC and partnering with the city as well. You and I had talked about that before the show began. Is you cannot do a project like this without the support of the municipality. It would be impossible. And so we are really grateful for the way that Beaver Falls supports their small businesses, but also their new initiatives as well, and helps to make it so that everybody can work together. It's unusual. I've lived in a lot of places. I have not seen this in many places. I think it's remarkable. So the leadership of Beaver Falls is phenomenal. So we're moving into the News Tribune building, 18,000 square feet, coming from 2,200 square feet. So just imagine the possibilities there. And this building, if you've not seen it, you guys should stop by. It is pretty awesome. And what we love most is the connection to the community. Yeah. When we talk about it, I mean, people
it's in the center of the city.
It's in the center of the city, and literally everyone I know has like someone who worked there. They've worked there themselves. some connection to literally everyone in Beaver Falls and probably Beaver County, honestly. So we just think it's really awesome that we get to be a part of, like, I think the restoration of this building into something really hopeful, but also just keeping it as part of the building and seeing it restored and not torn down.
Yeah. I don't know if it can be considered an employee, but I delivered papers for the News Tribune.
Absolutely.
Back in my younger years.
Yeah.
But you're building that, and I had Beaver Falls Coffee and Tea on not too long ago, and she said, we're moving into there. Whenever that's constructed, that's going to be another BF Cat, is that what they call it?
Biff Cat.
Biff Cat. Okay.
Yeah. So Bethany will have a second location in the lobby. So pre-admission, so it'll be open to the public. And another partner will be Crop and Kettle, running our teaching cooking kitchen in the on the third floor. So as part of our makerspace, we'll have a culinary space.
Wonderful organizations, because I've spoken with Crop and Kettle too, and they're doing wonderful work.
Yes, they're doing wonderful
So
work.
you're connected with all these entities,
Absolutely.
trying to pull it all together.
Yeah.
And it's not really like you're doing it behind the scenes. This is all very available and accessible to anybody who is interested.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
And when do you hope to have that Tribune building open? What's it going to be called?
It's going to be called Neighborhood North.
Okay.
Museum of Play. So it'll be the same thing. We'll keep the Tribune sign on there, and then we're renovating or refurbishing, whatever you call it when you do that with neon. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the two neon signs on the building.
Are you going to do that?
Yeah.
Oh, that'll be special.
I know,
So
they're
you're preserving a part of the history and bringing something to bring to the future.
Yeah, and something really cool that we'll be launching this winter is that on one of the walls in the lobby will be a wall of photographs, newspaper clippings and things from the newspaper, from the actual original newspaper. So we're going to invite people to submit either the originals or photocopies of the of pictures they have from the News Tribune. We already have someone who did that.
Yeah.
So, and it's just be a part of that.
I've known a few of the photographers who worked for the Tribune over the years, and I'm sure that their families, because some of these guys have passed on, but have access to those photos.
Yeah. So we just want to kind of pay homage to the paper itself.
Yeah. So in our closing moments here, what do people need to know, and how can they help?
Yeah, great question. So I think what you need to know is any information about Neighborhood North can be found on our website, neighborhoodnorth.com. And we just launched a campaign called the Giving Gears campaign. This is a way you can support us. It's multi-tiered from $100 to $10,000. And this is going to allow you to purchase a gear of different sizes. And once you do that, you can have your name or the name of a loved one engraved on it. But it'll allow classrooms, like a fifth grade classroom, to a major donor to give at different levels. This will become the first exhibit that'll be installed on the outside of the Tribune building, which will be really exciting, and it'll be interactive. So that's the Giving Gears campaign. That's also found on our website. You can find more information about that. And if you're interested, you can also email me at Christine@neighborhoodnorth.com.
But basically, go to the website.
Go to the website.
See what you have going on there. Wow, it's always interesting talking with you, Christine. Learn more all the time, not only about your background, but about how you develop these things and the group that supports you.
Yeah.
It's amazing, and it's good stuff for Beaver County.
Thank you.
So
Thanks for having me on.
Appreciate you being on. We'll talk to you anytime.
Thanks.
Thank you. Christine KROGER is Neighborhood North Museum of Play in Beaver Falls. You go to their website, get more information on how you can help and be a donor and get a gear. I'm Mike Roma. It's the best of Beaver County on the St. Barnabas Radio Network.
Thank you